Did someone say mid-price madness? Welcome back to another video, and in this video I'll be going through my trades for SuperCoach round 14 of the season as we try and look at mid prices to really just beef and or sort of beef up the squad that we have at the moment, as we are well far behind others. But the good thing is we do have quite a lot of returnees, as Horne-Francis and McRae are set to check back in, which will definitely help out our side. So anyway, let's jump into this video here. I actually don't have the trades up at the moment for what I've got set and ready. But the first thing, as we said last week, or the review, that Hewitt would turn into Mills next week, that pretty much is set in stone. We know that he needs something about 80 or 75 roughly to get to Mills's starting point. So anyway, first guy off the rank is the likes of Xavier Lindsay. Gives me 330k spare. Then the next guy off the rank, actually can't remember who it was that I was trading, because basically I want to get to having at least Doherty in. I might actually need to just think this one through for a second here, because if I go here, because I want to get basically Doherty and also De Koning, but also don't know how to get to them. To be honest with you, maybe I was maybe imagining it through Bailey Smith, who could be out still, which would cause chaos. Sinclair, Whitfield, Zorko, don't want to move any of those guys on, I don't think. We also know that we want to get in Johnson. So if I actually do that move now, if I go and grab up Johnson, let's just grab that up. So I've got 217k spare. 217, grab up Stone. Then we can move, I guess Kennedy can go there. So I got 400k spare. I think it actually is just going to be a Doherty move. It might just be straight up Doherty here. And just doing that. And then that will be that, I think. I think that's the best way to sort of upgrade. Doherty in for Lindsay, and then Stone out for Johnson. Basically gives us a mini upgrade there. Uses one trade to get to a guy that I think will be up there in everything said and done. And yeah, gets us the cash generation starting to flow with Johnson. Obviously can pretty much do that with anyone else, and leaves me 13k spare. Obviously not going to have Kennedy there. And then Gross, you can go to the bench here, and then McRae can come on for, I guess, Dacos in this end. And then Wangani Malira will come on for Carroll. And then this is actually the side that I've got going into the round. I did want to try and find a way to get in TDK just because of that West Coast game. But I just don't see a sensible way to do it, to be honest with you, because am I really gaining much? If I want Doherty, am I gaining much getting Gorn out for TDK? And then going like Lindsay up to Doherty, or Lindsay up to Butters. Am I getting much out of that? Whereas in this scenario, next week I can effectively go. I can effectively put Harry Sheasel into the midfield, put Bolton into the forward line. I could actually go. I don't have enough cash though. That's the problem with Bolton at the moment. We kind of need him to track towards that 520k marker, because once that happens, or Horne-Francis. Even though it's going to take a little while for Horne-Francis to get out of that, if we just say Horne-Francis here and we go, oh, he's going to score, say, a 100 for the next couple of weeks here. He goes down 25, 20, 23, 25, then 14, then 10, then catches it up. So we kind of need him to go 110 for the next couple of weeks here just to really catch it back up. Because we really want to find a way enable us to get like a Horne-Francis or someone else out of here to get the best I guess forwards in. We really want to find a way to get Martin in. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, not liking Merritt at the moment, but it is what it is on that front. But I think this is just the way I'm going to do my trades. Leaves me with 8 trades left over. I can't trade out Gray, so it would be trading out Carroll. Now, Carroll as well, 34 break even. If he doesn't get selected, maybe I go with Carroll out instead of Stone. just because Stone has a break even of 0. And if he does play, there's going to be cash generation on offer. So if Stone does, if Carroll doesn't get selected, there is no point having Carroll in the side. And the good thing about this, actually the bad thing about this is that they play at 6:10. So we're not going to know if Carroll isn't sub until the final game of the round, which sucks. If they were swapped around West Coast Carlton and also Brisbane GWS, then we'd know that Carroll isn't sub and we'd be able or sub or not, and then we'd be able to make that maneuver with Stone, but obviously cannot do that because we don't know. It does allow me to loop here, and also in case Bailey Smith is out, it does allow me that option there, which is obviously good. I can actually do something just for my, I guess, to make it look better. I could do this and put Johnson as a rookie there on the flex position as well. But yeah, my full side already, just looking at it quietly here, is basically this at the moment. And then I'd have Clark as a rookie, and then Hewitt as a Hewitt to basically Callum Mills next week. And then already you can already see how it's going to work there. That Hewitt can basically go into the flex, and then that turns into to the likes of Mills, and then Mills just plays from the flex, etc. So that's how I'll probably work it out. But you can already see how this team is really starting to form. I do need to actually, as a matter of fact, do I want Johnson? Johnson plays there. Gross plays late on, but he's not going to play. You do have Camporelli there as well. So you know what I can actually do? I do have Hewitt. I can actually do this. Hewitt plays the later round. So I can actually do this here and run Doherty in the flex so that Johnson can be emergency. Or do I emergency? You know what I can do? This is probably really, really smart of me, or really, really dumb of me. But I'm going to do, because Richmond play late on, don't they? Where's Richmond? Richmond is on the bye. So this is actually, I think, just smart sort of super coaching, I would say, almost in a way. Because Adelaide, when did Adelaide play? When did Adelaide play? They play second. So I have Luke Pedlar playing in the second game of the round. I have Zach Johnson and also Angus Clark playing in the fourth game of the round. I've got Campbell Gray on the bye. I've also got Cooper Simpson on the bye. Sorry, not on the bye, injured, but playing in the third last game of the round. So that is well after the Adelaide game. So I can check that off. And I can effectively, probably even, if he goes large, who do I even take out of this this forward line? That'll be interesting. But it can give me good coverage for Bailey Smith in case Bailey Smith isn't named. So you see how these sort of, my side isn't actually the worst. It's still bad. It's still bad. But we've got covering scenarios. Like Angus Clark can obviously, if he gets more than about 60 or a 50, I'll cover with Carroll, because if he gets 60, 70 plus, and that's just a good banker score. But there's that. Then you've got Johnson here, who will cover for Hewitt if he does really well. And I'll do that through Gross, who plays the last game of the round. And we'll know that Gross isn't playing. But if he isn't, then we'll do it through Camporelli, one of these two, because I doubt that both of them are going to play. And that'll allow me to get the best score out of Hewitt there. And then if Pedlar pulls a master stroke off and goes 100, then I'll probably just pull him out for probably Rankin, to be honest with you, because Rankin's form has been horrific. But then also, if Zach Johnson doesn't score well, you know what I can actually do? I can probably just put, you know what I can actually do? I can just put, probably, I'm just trying to think. Is there a way in which I can get a DPP? Oh, here it is. I know how exactly I'm going to do it. So if Pedlar pulls off a 110 and Johnson doesn't matter, or or something of that matter, we don't have a defender, so it would have to be taking Angus Clark's score. But anyway, having said all that, I would put Daniel into, or one of these guys into the midfield, put Hewitt off, and put Gross into the forward line for that. And then I can just flip him onto the bench if he is playing, or just play him, because if he isn't, then he's not gonna count, and take Pedlar's score and effectively take Pedlar over Hewitt. So I'm trying to limit, and I know this is the bye round, so it's going to be like 10, 20 points of sway, but I'm trying to limit Hewitt, Carroll, and those type of guys, those two guys, and those positions, that D6, that M8, and even just in the forward line, that F6 type of role, one of these forwards, and trying to not allow that to really weigh down my side. Because I do have 23, I'm going to drop the worst 5 scores. But if I can get a couple of 70s out of these non-primos, it just lifts that barrier up and really helps me out. Yes, I might not get the top tier scores, but I'll get those bottom ones. Now, coming into the VC and captaincy debate. I know I didn't really do this the best on my my fantasy channel, but let's go to defense first position, and then we will go to last 5 Supercoach. So we want to know inside mids. Is anyone playing an inside mid team that gives up bulk points? Gold Coast, North Melbourne, Freo. Who are they playing? Gold Coast, they are on the bye, are they? Gold Coast, I believe, are on the bye. Which kind of doesn't help. What was the other one? North Melbourne and Fremantle. North Melbourne, they are playing Fremantle, so the two sides are playing each other that give up bulk points. Does that actually lead to potentially a VC for like a potentially Caleb Strong? Don't think so, because he's a horrific scorer in general. So those are all the, and then Richmond is on the bye, GWS as well. Let's just check who are GWS playing. They're playing Brisbane. I don't have any Brisbane players. So that checks up all of the inside mids, right? Then we go to the ruck line, Port Adelaide, West Coast, GWS. So we know GWS are playing Brisbane. No ruck there. Port Adelaide, they are playing, if we just go quickly to Horne-Francis here, Port Adelaide are playing Melbourne. Cheeky little Gorn captaincy. So that means that Gorn is in one of those places, right? Now we just got to find someone else. West Coast, they are playing TDK. I know that because I wanted to try and get myself on that matchup. I just couldn't. I couldn't get that on that matchup except for getting rid of McRae, which I don't think I want to get rid of McRae. Because even though he's got a 150 break even, it's because he's still averaging 107 for the year, which is still near enough top 10 midfielders, top 12 midfielders anyway, let alone in the forward line, where honestly, this would make me feel better about doing that, something like that, and just getting more strength in the forward line, the forward line there. So that would give me more strength there. And then that would make my forward line look a little bit better, my midfield look a little bit worse, as Caleb Daniel would be in there. But basically next week, I want to see if I can get, say, a Rankin, just off topic, a Rankin on the bye up to someone big. We'll just have to see about it. And yeah, that'll be something that I plan on getting. Okay, so we're looking for another VC or C candidate to partner Max Gorn. GWS, we said, are against Brisbane. No. Richmond are on the bye. St Kilda, they are playing Western Bulldogs. That's Tim English. Who are North Melbourne playing is basically the only one I need to concern myself with. They are playing for Fremantle. Now, in Supercoach, that is a plus 2.2 in the last 5. And then in the last 10 for a Fremantle are, where are they? A plus 3.27. So, having said all that, how did they go negative Gorn? That's crazy. Visentini, that's a horrific. Interesting. So, Visentini isn't the best ruck for scoring. And then you've got Jared Witts, who had a stinker somehow. I think he was solo rucking, so maybe that's the excuse that he was solo and not duo rucking. So he had to try and take on more and just got absolutely gassed. So there's a potential, but I would say no, because the highest score is a 125 from Nankervis, and even Gorn went 117. So I would say no to that. So let's get rid of that. So that leaves us, wing defenders, they don't really matter. General defenders don't really matter. So that leaves us with the designated kickers. Richmond on the bye, or West Coast. It's plus 7.4. Could that would be a captaincy option, though. I don't want to go captaincy Doherty in case he moves. Melbourne, they are playing. Who are Melbourne playing? They're playing, but we can't use the Melbourne matchup. They're playing Port Adelaide. You've got Adelaide. Who are they playing? You've got Adelaide. They are playing Hawthorn. Hawthorn, we don't have a Desi kicker for. And I just want to see Hawthorn. How are they for the inside mids? -2. Who are Essendon playing? Because that would be they're playing Geelong. Geelong, they're basically neutral for that. Nick Dacos on the bye, Caleb Serong, Jason Horne-Francis. Caldwell, they're playing inside mid against Geelong, who are a horrific matchup for inside mids. Okay, Caleb Daniel against Fremantle. Fremantle for designated kickers are... Oh, they are a -2.4 in the last 5 games, though, for Fremantle. They are a -5.11 for Desi kickers. Harry Himmelberg had a stinker. Ryan Burton had a stinker. Connor Rozee even did. Will Powell had a stinker. So, yeah, they don't really give up big scores there. So that's actually interesting. Sydney are the one that you actually want. And Sydney are playing on the bye. So you can't actually use that. So, trying to think of an actual VC option. I think it is just Bailey Smith if he plays against Essendon inside mid. Like, Essendon last 5 inside mids. Where are they? They are basically net neutral, but have allowed a 159 from Hugh McCluggage. I know Bailey Smith will be the targeted one. Have let Bontempelli and also Liberatore go 140. Even let Kane McAuliffe go 97. Like, they're an all right team to score against. So let's go last 10. I think it will be a Bailey Smith if he gets up, which he should get up. If we are looking at Essendon. They're +2 in the last 10, which means that their back half here surely is all right. They let off 125 to Dacos, 134 to Steele Sidebottom. Let off 120 to Harry Sheasel as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Bailey Smith here and go him. Last time out that we tried to VC Bailey Smith, he was out. So let's watch him try and probably weasel himself out of this game. But anyway, that is the video. They're going through all of my trades and then my VC and captaincy and giving you a breakdown of how I sort of operate, how I methodically go through VCs and captaincies. And yeah, it's a tough week outside of Max Gawn for, I think, VCs and captaincies this week without Nick Dacos and just some horrific sort of distributing defender matchups alongside also the midfielders don't just line up for me. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the predictions alongside the review of the Thursday night game between St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs. Bye, guys.